What's going on, my fellow Jedi and Padawans? Welcome back to another Jedi gaming video. Thank you guys so much for coming back to the channel, and if you guys are new, welcome. Happy Monday, the day before Witch Queen, the calm before the storm. Going to be so crazy tomorrow. Servers are gonna be a mess, but we're gonna be having so much fun, so much content for you guys. I appreciate you always coming back to the channel, showing the love and support means a lot to me, and we're gonna have so much content coming out in the next couple weeks for you guys. Gonna be absolutely insane. I cannot wait. But for this last video before Witch Queen, we're going to be going over that last TWAB last week on Thursday, covering everything Gambit. Is it saved? Is it going to be fun? What kind of changes we got? Going to do a little too long, didn't read for you guys, so you guys don't have to go in and read every single word of this. Going to just hit the main points, in my opinion, that's going to change Gambit for everybody, making it definitely more fun in Witch Queen here. So first and foremost, the top bullet point here, we have freelance being added. We all know going in and getting clapped by a 4-stack that is always in Gambit just was almost impossible to go through and win a game if you were going in solo, and they even had 3 good players on the other team. So freelance is a big W for Gambit and those solar players, that is for sure. Now this rotating seasonal selection of curated encounters is going to be kind of interesting. So it seems like we're gonna have a set encounter for a certain map, like a race and a map. So like Hive, like they said on Pacifica or something. With the Shriekers, it's not gonna be that, but we're gonna have some variations of race and map for the year. It's gonna be definitely a change up, so we're not always facing the same things like they said. Next right here, the respawns, definitely kind of sweet, because when you died, you always got sent back to that initial spot. So you might have to run for 10 seconds, 15 seconds to get back into the fight if you did. So they're adding more respawn spawns around the map when you come back, so you're not just getting murked immediately. Next up, probably the biggest thing for me right here is players drop half of their motes when they're defeated. So finally, if you have 15 motes and you get defeated, it's not a big L. You only lose half of them, and you can recover some of these motes when you die. Super nice. Revives can happen a little bit earlier from your teammates, but auto respawn is delayed by 2 seconds. Just emphasizes teamwork and making players play together and revive each other a little bit more. Last for me on this list, we all know that PvE wise, enemies within Gambit seem to be way more tanky, and they just kind of increased it for different shields right here. All shields increasing resistance versus non-matching damage types. So if you're using solar on arc, it's going to be hard to break those shields even more. Next off right here, we got our blockers and draining and stuff. As you can see, the 10 mote Felix has a health boost just because those knockback shields, we were destroying them a little too fast. The 15 mote Knight has a stasis attack now. Going to be interesting, slowing us around, definitely making killing that guy a little bit harder. But the mote drains is changing, which is so good for us. Mote drain on multiple blockers continue if the enemy is even in Primeval. That's not really a big deal at that point. You just got to start murking out those blockers when they come in, and the mote drain is paused if players are near the bank engaging blockers. That right there is super key, so you don't have to wipe out everything for that drain to stop. Definitely going to be a key point, is that the drain pauses when you're near the bank engaging those blockers. Next off, we got the ammo economy, which is super nice that we're getting right here. So when you complete an area, when you clear all the ads in a certain area, a chest containing small amounts of special and heavy spawn in the middle of that front and can be looted once by each player. Super good for getting some of that ammo. Killing a high value target spawns 1 normal heavy brick for each player. Another super good way to get heavy. Gonna be a little bit more heavy intensive, it seems, in Gambit, because that was definitely super hard to get heavy bricks unless you were pulling it off the wall, even with finders and scabs and stuff like that. Limited special and heavy ammo bricks to only spawn from enemies if you have finder mods equipped. So that's going to be kind of interesting. You're going to need your finders on for certain weapons to get those bricks to drop outside of those special chests that we're going to get, and then killing high value targets. Next off, we got some Primeval changes. So Primeval health and Slayer stack bonus has returned. So when we destroy those envoys, we get that Slayer stack, and we can absolutely melt the Primeval after we get a couple of those. As they say right here, envoy in the new spawns, they're going to spawn in the areas that we actually clear the ads on left, right, center, whatever it may be. They're not going to spawn right next to the boss, which is kind of nice actually. Now, the envoys will create an invulnerability shield on the Primeval, so you guys are going to have to be efficient with going and killing those envoys, whichever where they are. There'll be 2 of them, so you have to defeat both of them before that invulnerability shield goes away, and you can continue to damage your Primeval. Now, the envoys respawn at 30% of the Primeval damage, so the more damage you do on the Primeval, the less health the envoys will respawn at, and they respawn stopping after the 5th spawn, so you would technically have to kill 10 of them if it ends up being that long, but I'm sure we'll be able to melt the Primeval decently fast still after that 3rd round, like they said. And we're leaving the Primeval servitor boss. That big old gigantic taken meatball is leaving. Super nice. All right, so for you invaders out here, we have some changes. Level advantage is now disabled. It used to be enabled, so if you were going in at max light and you got some new lights, you were absolutely murking them. Kind of interesting. The moat phase for invasions has been removed. Invasions now trigger at 40 and 80 moats threshold. The Primeval invasion phase hasn't changes, but you can't stack them up by letting them just keep turning in and then going in 3 times in a row. You have to use it while it is procced. Definitely super nice, because some teams would just stack them up and then invade you 3 times in a row and there was absolutely nothing you could do. Invaders can no longer see how many moats enemy players are carrying. That is so nice, because you know they were always going for the top moat player, which definitely makes sense, but this is going to give it a little bit more anonymity to it and just kind of, you know, fix that problem of getting murked every time if you're the best player in there always collecting moats or whatever. If you're not the ad clear, if you're going in getting the moats while other people are doing their jobs, definitely going to make a nice difference. And they did some changes to the Primeval healing right here, just because when you did actually get killed sometimes and it healed that Primeval of yours, there was some big bugs with how it applied that, so they definitely changed it with timing and how much of the Primeval health is restored. Almost to the end here, we have some focusing changes with our Gambit engrams and our rewards here, so we can use those engrams to focus either Gambit armor or Gambit weapons for 10,000 glimmer and 50 legendary shards, so we're going to be able to farm a little bit better for armor and weapons. As you can see, we got the crowd pleaser, the bottom dollar, the trinary system, borrowed time, and servant leader right there, so it's going to be a nice way to farm those roles. And then we are also at the end of a match, we're getting Gambit mementos for weapon crafting, so we can pick which perks we want on these weapons. Going to be super nice. So the Primeval servitor that is going away, you can get some of those cosmetic drops at the end of matches as well, so that's nice that it's going away, but we're still getting some of the drops that specifically had. Last but not least, we're going to have some changes to repeatable Gambit bounties up here. Nothing too crazy, just changing some of the requirements for them, coming later in the year and in Season 17. Very last right here, we got Gambit labs coming our way, just like Trials labs, some different variation of the Gambit gameplay, which is going to be super interesting. Definitely going to give it a try, making Gambit a little bit more playable when they have these going on. So you have invasion swaps, so when you hit those invasion thresholds of 40 and 80, instead of your portal opening, your opponents will open. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see when you want to deposit, how many you want to deposit, if you're, you know, changes up the gameplay for sure when the other person's portal opens up instead of yours. Next right here, we have the moat thief. Definitely interesting. So our normal moat drain is taken away when we have 2 blockers out. That's not going to happen, but instead every second the invader is invading on the other side, 1 moat drains directly to your bank from the invader's bank. So that's going to be a nice weird dynamic, so you invade more often or as much as you possibly can and almost stay alive instead of trying to get your kills on those fellow guardians to lose their moats. You're going to want to stay alive as long as you possibly can to drain as many moats as possible from them. So definitely these changes for Gambit are going to be super nice, and I think it's going to make it way more playable. You're going to see way more people in Gambit. Definitely super excited to see how it actually plays. I'm trying not to get too excited for it just because never really liked a Gambit personally, but these changes have definitely got me interested. So let me know what you guys think. Take a nice relaxing time, just watch the video, don't go through and read all this. Get ready for tomorrow. It's going to be absolutely crazy, grinding out those power levels. I absolutely cannot wait and bring you guys some content. So thank you guys so much for watching again. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.